अन्यथा गृह्णतः स्वप्नः निद्रा तत्त्वमजानतः विपर्यासे तयोः क्षीणे तुरीयं पदमश्नुते अनादिमायया सुप्तः यदा जीवः प्रबुध्यते अजम् अनिद्रम् अस्वप्नम् अद्वैतं बुध्यते तथा अन्यथा गृह्णतः स्वप्नः. During the dream state and during the waking state, I catch hold on to something which is other than me. And during sleep, I don't know anything. But if you allow these states to quieten down, what is there as a substratum, which can be, if you want, can be named it as Turiya, you go back to that state and be that. There is no grabbing onto something else or sleeping away, not holding on to anything, just hold on to the self. And because of the totality of Maya, what happens? Anadi Maya Suttaha Yada Jiva Prabhudyate. The Jiva is sleeping. Our individuality is sleeping. Anadi Maya Suttaha Yada Jiva Prabhudyate. Ajam Anidram Aswapnam. Ajam, unborn. If I decide that I'm unborn. Anidram, I am not sleeping. Anidram, Aswapnam, I am not having the dream. Then I stay put as the self and be that. That's all from me.
What a beautiful way you explain, and this is what it is, that whatever is going in front of us or within us, mind and intellect, and if we can stay uninvolved with all that, you can't stop what is happening in external world, and you can't stop what is happening in your mind and intellect and the body. But if you can start observing it, so if you see what Nilakantanji was trying to say in this shloka, then what is me who is not involved in sleep and waking? What is that? And Bhagwan has put so nicely, like someone asked Bhagwan about who is, tell me something about yourself, or tell me something about something. Bhagwan said, why? He said, because I know nothing. So Bhagwan said, you just focus on that nothing. If you don't know nothing, then just focus on nothing only. That will take you there. And if you see what we call as Brahman or self is actually that nothing. What nothing in us is us. Nothing, no thing, something which you can't grasp from the mind or from the intellect. Because you can't, like, let's say your eyes can't see your own eyes, Same is like what we are, we can't see, but we can be. And that can only happen if you start removing what you are not from it. By just simply observing things and not thinking that you are any of those things, especially your interior makeup, your mind, your body, your intellect, your senses, your thoughts, your emotions. And I think better than saying your mind, your intellect, if you just take them as not your part, but as something, let's say a table or a chair or laptop or anything outside gadgets, treat it like that rather than calling your own. If you can contemplate in that way, it will be much quicker and it will be much easier. And you don't have to do any other efforts except just observing it as things come. So I would like to discuss, does anyone have any problem in doing something like this? Is it difficult, or is it difficult in understanding what I'm talking about? because we can discuss it, because the whole idea is that in satsang, what you listen or what you understand, that should come into your practice. So this disentanglement continues beyond satsang.
Can I add something here?
Yes, Nilakanta.
See, like if I have a thought and it is about some object which I like, then possibly I'll take action to get that. Suppose if it is of a thought of an object which I don't like, I will try to replace it with the thought of which I like. The third one is when I am neutral or udasinata. When I am udasinata, the thought comes and goes, and there is no need for I thought there. I like, I don't like, it is not there. Then the whole thing crumbles because the thought is like white clouds. It does not affect you at all. So the problem is that one which says I like it, I don't like it. So if that is not there, then it is very simple. Only that choiceless awareness is just there. Then it becomes easier. Then that's why it told in the shlokam ajam, I'm almost unborn. If I have no likes or dislike, I'm just there. There's no question of getting attached to anything. Then it becomes easier. Otherwise, each thought will drive you mad because you're getting attached to something, or I don't like this. So this kind of attaching or non-attaching, I don't like this, I like this kind of duality comes, then the I gets strengthened. Otherwise, the I is free. There's no I. It is just that existence principle is shining.
Yeah. Actually, quite right, because if you see, I is I like, I dislike, I hate. I is the one who is analyzing all the time. He's critically analyzing everything and categorizing into things because he has interest in doing this. Knowingly, unknowingly, it all comes out of your rag and dvesh only. Your attraction to things and your repulsion. If that is not there, then whatever the thought comes, you don't own it. Who owns thoughts? This is the power of the mind to create thoughts one after the other. Like the kids who make that soap bubbles. It just keeps
Yes.
coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. So this is the mind. It keeps coming, keeps coming. That is its job. That is its nature. Like a tree gives fruit, mind gives thoughts. That is the power of mind, or you can say nature of mind. But if you staying in that hridaya, in your heart as self, if you stay there and you don't move and let those thoughts come and go, only thing is the one who takes interest in it, I thought or ahem or ahankar or ego, the one who picks up them and owns them. The first one is because if you don't own it, then how would it disturb you? It can never disturb you. Why some thoughts coming to your mind disturbs you, but not thoughts coming to someone else's mind? Because you own it first by that this is your thought, because you are hearing, so you have to act, you have to do something about it. But if you give up this ownership, then you are in silence all the time. I want to clarify one thing. It is not that if you disown thoughts and there are a lot of thoughts, then the things have settled. But this is the step, this is the technique. When you disown, thoughts decreases in their intensity, and your attraction to thoughts decreases, so the thoughts decreases. So this is the method to finish these thoughts when you have no interest in them. And whenever there is interest in thoughts and you're getting attracted, then look, who is this one who is interested in these thoughts? The moment you look into it, you will know that it is your ahem bhav, your ego, your I thought. And moment you watch it, it also drops. So that's why this inquiry, which you can call any name, self inquiry or self attention or pure awareness, attention to awareness only, not to thoughts, it works, always works, because it is working at the root cause. You are not holding the ear from the other side, you are just going straight to the issue. Issue is only I thought, that's all. So if you keep looking there, your attention is there, it will go away. All other techniques are before it. If you are so unsettled that you can't do this practice, or you are not made to do this type of practice or contemplation or seeing, then you go through other things also, which a lot of people do, breathing techniques and japa and yoga or whatever. But eventually you have to come to this only, because some of the techniques you do, you might get some control of mind, some peace of mind, but the problem does not go away. You're just taming the mind, but mind is still there. To overcome the mind, to supersede it, you have to supersede this ego only, ahankar vritti, this tendency to have ownership of the body mind. A lot of people, when they lose their job and they are boss of a place, after retirement, after quitting that job, after they have been said goodbye, they keep coming back to just check how things are going there. You can hear these stories from the people who have taken over, that sometimes they come, they say, oh, I just came to see how things are going. They have no role to play, but they keep coming because of the tendency. It happens even in so many professions, like army professionals who have already gone to the wars, but they keep repeating the story that I did that, I did that. So the role is gone, but that I never goes away. And some people are so good, the moment they give up that job, they have complete sannyas, virakt, dispassion. They don't even look back. Like they were taking care of 1,000 people or a big company or a multi-billion-dollar project. They just move out. They are really saints, sages type of people. But then there will be people who have done a small job, they keep coming back, oh, I did this, I did that. So it is all mind game. If you are so much attached to these thoughts coming to us, who are only coming to that ahem bhav, but now when you have decided that you just want to be free, completely free, no compulsion of thoughts to you. So basically you're moving out from this person mode, an individual self, the small self, to just impersonal. It actually changes everything. It changes the activity of brain, where when you stay in awareness, it's a different part of the brain which is activated. When you are staying in the person mode, it's a different part of the brain which is activated. And now it is being proven by so many studies, by voxel based morphometry of brain, PET scans, EEGs, and they have found that the brain, when the God takes control of the brain works in a different way. When the person takes control of the brain, it is very different. The circuits are different. The part of the brain which gets activation. So it is real. It is not imaginary thing. It's real. It happens. It changes. You move out from that, your personal domain, by simply observing. That's all. By simple observation, you can move out of it. The only thing you have to invest is your time in it. That's all. Because that is most precious part. Practice, practice, practice. Stay there, stay there. They say the only thing required for self-realization is ananya bhakti, your longing, your intense longing for God, remembrance of God. God word you can replace by remembrance of self, your awareness, your pure self. Remembering it means coming back to it again and again if you slip back into the ego mode. And more you remember, more it pulls you, because actually what we think is natural is because of our conditioning, it looks natural. Because everyone is behaving from this person mode. Hardly you come across anyone who is staying as awareness and not talking from that selfish ego mode. And you can feel it so easily. That's why this whole word of gossip comes into play, because it is easy to catch up others talking from selfish mode, person mode. And when that person is not there, we gossip about that person, and it's really bad. It pulls us down. But it is actually our own um, deficiencies which we see in others, because we are also trapped in that same person mode. But we don't like in others, but we don't question ourselves if we keep looking others. The moment you start looking here, staying as a sakshi, a witness to your own ego mode, you have no time to look into others. No time left. Actually, this is such a very good exercise if we want to get rid of all this, hatred and gossiping and all these types of lower level of talk. If everyone is looking to sort out themselves, then you are so busy that you are not busy in doing other things, other rubbish stuff. Like, some people say that in financial world, this mortgage business is keeping us on track, that we work, we to pay, so we don't do anything stupid, we focus. So mortgage is something keeping us. So I think this will keep us within if we try to sort out our ego. Then we are so much busy in this sorting out that we have no interest in others. And when you have actually sorted out, then you have no interest in others, because there is so much of bliss here. First you are busy in sorting it out, so you are not interested in other people, and then when you reach there, then you are happy. In both ways, a spiritual seeker is ekanki. He's alone only. When you reach, you know that you are the only one there. Actually, there's no one separate than you. And before that, you have no time for others. In both senses, you are introvert, cool and contented and happy person. I think Amit wants to say something.
Yeah, I think you'd asked earlier on, and what I'm experiencing is every day, reading Bhagwan's teachings or listening to videos on the subject, and it helps in the sense of it calms the mind down. It makes I guess it reinforces the teachings you contemplate. I feel happiness or contentment, I would say, in that every day. But there's one thing that happened, maybe an experience, which was I'm finding this is also happening in my dreams, which is when you're conscious, when you're in waking state, you're obviously aware and you're conscious, and you think you have an ability to focus on things attention wise. In dreams, it's slightly different. You don't necessarily have that. Things happen, you remember them. But then this was one where the process of taking a step aside and observing, I felt it in my sleep.
In your dream, isn't it?
No, sorry, in my dream, when I was dreaming.
Yeah.
And that to me was my first experience of such, and it was quite a blissful feeling, because it was almost there was this there was this bliss that you were part of, and then you at the same time you could you knew that the body was separate meaning there were sensations, but you weren't fully it.
Beautiful.
That was but that I remember that very explicitly, because you in a way experience it, and so I was like quite, I think it was even so that I look forward to sleeping.
Very true. Look, I think I have discussed this in the past,
Yes.
that when you are paying attention to awareness but not to thoughts and the actions and the intentions and whatever is happening, this practice becomes so natural, and then it becomes so deeper that the next step comes when you are going into dream again. It is the mind game, and mind is showing you a dream, but you are not part of that dream, just like you are not part of the mind body complex in waking. So if your sadhana, your practice is so strong, or it becoming so natural, so even in that dream state, whatever those images are, you can be witness to all those, and you are separate from that, exactly like when you're practicing in the waking. So waking, it goes into the dream. Now comes the deep sleep. So in deep sleep, you might think that you are completely ignorant in deep sleep, but not. So many times this practice, when it gets so deeper, that even in deep sleep, the sleep is going on, but there is someone who is aware of the sleep during that time. It's not that you come out of the deep sleep in morning and you say, I had a blessed sleep and I had a good. But during the deep sleep also, there is awareness of the deep sleep going on, because you don't change. That same awareness is there in waking, dream, and then deep sleep. So in all these three states, you stay the same, and you stay the same now for the whole night and morning and next day and next day and next day, and that eternal. You are that unchanging awareness, whether the dream comes or deep sleep comes or sleep comes. This is our true nature. And this will happen to anyone who is practicing, and then in natural state, he will be only left with awareness. And all this phenomena of the body mind, which is not our phenomena, you can't claim that dream is your dream. It's a dream of mind. Tomorrow your mind will be disrupted. You will have some nightmares, and then you see a doctor, he gives you some treatment for nightmares. There are so many sleep issues, dream issues. Just like the mind of a waking person can be so distorted, disruptive, same can happen in dream also. So you can't say this is you. It is the gadget you have been given, mind, which is not functioning properly. If you see, I can't remember the name of Bhagwan's devotee, but one of the devotees, towards end of his life, he got a bit confused, and he used to have some issues with confusion and all. And during that confusion also, he used to say that I am not this mind is completely gone crazy, but I am Bhagwan's devotee, established in my awareness, and I can see this mind is, whatever it's doing, it's not me, don't blame me.
S.S. Cohen.
Was it S.S. Cohen? Yeah, okay. And beautiful example. So it is not just Bhagwan's teachings which are important. I think Bhagwan just got like this. None of us got like that, otherwise we will not be sitting here. It is those teachings people have practiced and got their freedom. All these devotees, they are big asset to us. All these devotees, how they reached, what were their experiences, how they did. And that is the power.
Again, what is that experience means? Experience with the senses and the mind. Then it's not that. Again, we have to question that, to whom is that experience happening? So it puts you back further. Even if somebody has an experience is because of the mind and the five senses. So experience is not because of the innate nature of you. So you question even that, saying that to whom is this experience happening? To whom this happening? So that puts you back even. So that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but the way I was trying to explain is that just listening these devotees how they reached whatever issues they had come across, because it makes your path easier, because they have already
Yes,
gone through this path.
definitely.
And it is very simple, and there's no harm in it, like some yoga postures, I don't know. There were people who have some opening in the head, like I think Ganapati Muni had some hole in his head and fumes used to keep coming out of it. So I don't want you to be like chimney. So this method is very easy, Bhagwan's method. Here there's no big risk of any sort. Just keep practicing, and add bhakti to it, add devotion to it, add love to it. Then it becomes not that dry. It's jnana and bhakti both together. People nowadays, people whom, if you listen to any talk on non-duality, whom they say the champion of non-duality in this modern world, Shankaracharya, and then comes Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi's name. And see, Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, who will say he was pure Advaitik, he was a bhakta also. He could not continue reading Periya Puranam. He used to cry and he has to finish the book, How beautifully he wrote about Arunachala. So who can say that he was not a bhakta? He was a devotee. And see, Shankaracharya wrote so much of beautiful bhajans and things, Bhaj Govindam, and so much of Shivanand Lahiri and all that thing. So you can say from where you start, you can say, look, I started with Jnana Marga, but bhakti, the love has to come, because when you reach your heart, what you find there? Some dryness, love only. What is love? Love is bhakti, love is devotion, love is prayer, and love is for everything. Love is not just for a guru or God. Love is for everyone. That is love. Love has no strings attached. That love is for my family. You can't keep it. Love is not something. Those are all attachments which we call love in this modern world. Love cannot be love. Love doesn't bind you with a relationship. It has nothing to do with relationship, nothing to do with human beings or animals or birds or anything. Because when you dive there, you only find love. And so the love becomes bhakti.
Wanted to go back to last week or week before, I don't remember. Amit asked a question about some other teacher saying that there's no others. There comes the difficulty of neo Vedantins moving away from that love aspect. Say, like, it's not totally established. That's why they say that the neo Vedantins, there is some problem. It's because I'm not the doer, they agree. I'm not the enjoyer, they don't agree. That kind of a dichotomy is created. And because of that, that love aspect vanishes and they become very dry. So that's very nice of you to point out about love, total love. Thank you.
Whoever has doubts, don't worry about the doubts. Just dive in your heart and you will find whatever it is. And then don't worry about what people say about things. We are not here to be Vedantins or Advaitins or non-duality and against anyone. We are for everyone.
Exactly. No isms.
Yeah. This all is just mind talk and, neo-Vedantins, and don't make it a philosophical teachings and all. We have to just clear the mind. Whatever clears your mind, you should accept it, whether it's a bhakti, whether it's yoga, whatever works for you, by hook or crook. If you can jump into it, if you can dive into that love, that is the goal. Once you are there, what people are saying, who cares? We are not making any sect. We are not interested in promoting anything or saying this thing is good or this thing is bad. Doesn't matter. Whoever gets it from wherever, get it. Be free.
That is dissolving the individuality completely. That's all the aim is, without any sum or anything.
Yeah. And love dissolves it the best way. Love is answer to everything. It dissolves in the most beautiful way. So rather than taxing your mind, because I've seen that some people, they keep getting philosophical arguments about these things, and they are always trapped in the mind, because from where all the arguments comes from the mind only. If you have silenced the mind, then you will never fall trap into what people say and what they think. Dry talk is useless. If a talk, even if it's not a talk, it's silence, or even if it's gibberish, but it opens your heart, accept that, embrace that. So sometimes too intellectual talk, or those things, they don't open up your heart. Whatever opens your heart, do that. Don't follow any rules. And that's why, rather than getting into any controversy about non-duality, and if I am the self, then who will do whose prayer, doesn't matter. There's God is one. He has created so many of his images, and then he's just playing with all these images. They're all just, he's enjoying its leela. It's just play. You also play. Love yourself and love your God and love people, and do bhajan and not do bhajan, or stay quiet or go out. Who cares? This is the beauty of this, that we don't have to follow anything. People who follow, they become religious models. They follow, but there's no essence in it. Just following is there.
So that they get attached and there is fight.
Just live in that. Don't worry about anything, because we are nothing. That is what Bhagwan says. You just focus on that nothing. Someone must have thought, my God, he was humble devotee. He said, I know nothing, Guruji. You tell me something. He said, just pay attention to nothing. I don't know how much the devotee understood, but that was Bhagwan's teaching. Just stay in that neutral zone, that neutral in you, which is not going this way or that way. My way is no way. We are not following anything. We are not for or against anything. Always stay in that neutral. Don't trust others' mind. Don't trust your mind. Don't worry about mind. Just accept everything as it comes or not comes. That's also okay. Stay in this moment. This moment is so blissful. Without mind, your life will be so beautiful. I'll tell you honestly. When there's no mind, there is nothing. No one. Mind gives pressure to you. Pressure of job, pressure of next moment. I have to do this, then this. Whether you do things or not, but if they are stored in your mind one after the other as task, unfinished task, you and a mad person are not different, because everyone has this madness. So we say that we are all okay. It's okay, it's perfect. We need more people like Bhagwan around, so they are in majority, and so who is not without mind, the one without mind is considered as normal then. And there is no number game in this. The only thing is, if you are interested to be free from the mind, and it's a slow process, it's slow cooking. You just stay in your heart. Anything which makes you a person or brings up your ego, don't be part of it. You don't have to say someone or tell people, look, please don't count me, but you just internally, you can just detach yourself completely. Even outwardly, you might be saying yes, but it's a complete no. You are not interested, Stay in that detached awareness all the time. all the time. And keep drinking your own divine wine. This is so beautiful. You don't have to do anything for that. Just sit quietly in your own awareness, your own self. But stay away from the poison. The worst poison is desire. If you have desire, even a single desire of anything, that will just poison it, because desire leads to expectation of a fruit of that action, and the fruit, whether it's positive negative doesn't matter. In both ways it's a poison, because if it happens the way it happens, then you want to continue doing that to get that result, and if it doesn't happen, then you feel sad about it. One leads to addiction, other leads to sadness, but you are still attached to that result. Best is just to accept whatever comes, doesn't come. Bhagwan's simple teaching that whatever has to come will come, whatever has to go will go. Then who am I to aspire for anything? You just stay quiet. And you stay quiet, you are in bliss. And the moment you leave association with your mind by not giving any work to the mind, you are in bliss. So all the task what we do in this world, everyone, knowing, unknowingly, atheist or believer, it's all to get some happiness. But the moment you stop doing everything, you don't have to go to forest for that. Just internally detach yourself. Happiness is your nature. It is only being covered by our outwardly thoughts, taking us into different things and objects and beings. The moment you give up all desires and you surrender to God within you, it will reveal your own self that you are that, none other than that. And what religion is there? Or what type of God is it? It's just you. But then the play still continues if you are in this body and you are there. So if you have started with some teachings or some philosophy or some guru, you just appreciate that guru in form of love songs or bhajans or whatever, or there's no harm in it. Someone might say, now is it duality? But who cares? Let them say whatever they have to say. You stay in your own peace, your own contentment. You are proof of your own self. You don't need any evidence from external world, from the images around you. Some will say it is right, some will say it is wrong. It is all egoistic minds will speak in different ways. Who will believe on all these noises of the mind of others when he is not even believing his own noises of the mind? When you have given up your own mind, you have surrendered your mind to the pure awareness, then where is the scope of others' mind left? You don't even see others' mind. It's like a subtle noise, whatever is happening. You are so busy, you are so absorbed in your own bliss that the word disappears for you. Word has no significance left, no shame. You don't want to prove anything to anyone for any reason. You don't want to show anything for any reason to anyone. Actually, if you see, Bhagwan gave up his clothes He has no care. It is like giving a slap to the society. I don't care. I don't give a damn. No clothes, complete independence. Whether the body stays or not, he doesn't bother. He sat, and all these insects and these things came and they ate his flesh, and someone gave food, and someone forcefully made him to have a shower, and then people gathered, and then the ashram came. He has no, he didn't say to go, he didn't ask them to come. This is so beautiful, isn't it? He's just Ramana. He's Ramana also means absorbed. He's absorbed in his own bliss. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move. Things around you will keep changing, staying, going. Like a drunken person. You're happy. You're so happy. Whatever is happening around you, it doesn't bother you at all. Be like that. Completely oblivious about your surroundings, the world around you. How this word is real or unreal? People talk about it. They say, Bhagwan says this word, till it looks real to you, you cannot know yourself. You cannot know yourself till this word looks real to you. And this word will look real to you till you have an ego. Because that is the level by which you live in this world with the ego. The moment you are egoless, there is something which is still keeping the body going, maybe momentum of that body, or maybe it's destiny to live for that long, whatever it is. Otherwise, there's nothing left to live. There's nothing left to live. The task is finished. The job is done. What else is to? If you have stopped playing the role, what is the role of the body left? It is just going by the momentum. Otherwise, job is done. So do this job first. Because the only thing which is ticking time like a time bomb is the time. We don't have much time left. People die in the womb. People die as child. Death can come anytime to anyone. And we don't know when it's going to happen. So don't postpone your own unfoldment, your own enlightenment. Because this is the time when everything, all the stars we say are at the right place. You have a sound mind, sound body, time, understood some philosophy, understood a path. You are practicing. Just stay, do it, finish it. And then if time is left to do something else, then probably you can do that if time is left. Rather than wasting time in pleasing others, earning more money, and that what you will do with that money. Money will get more trouble, then you have to invest, reinvest, then finance, management. Whatever has happened, that's all okay, but just stay in yourself now. Start practicing to detach yourself from the matter. This is disentanglement. This is mixture of that Brahman with the Maya illusion. You are not anything what you perceive from the body, mind, or intellect, and you are none of these things, but you are just that neutral nothingness, emptiness, which is only a witness, which is not a body, which is nothing, which is formless, which is not born with the body. But yes, if you think you are body, then you will die with the body. because the mind is there. Mind never dies with the body, and it takes you into next body, because body is because of mind. Mind is because of our I thought, and I thought is nothing but desires, and desires are because of attachment to this word, because we think we are part of this world. But if you keep practicing to stay as a witness to whatever is unfolding within and also out, in no time there will be such a huge gap between you and your mind and your intellect and your feelings and emotions, that you will not call your mind, your intellect, your feelings, your emotions, your body. You will feel ashamed even to say my. Maybe for day-to-day talk you will use the same words, because what else would you use? But internally you are so clear that even at night in sleep you know what it is. As Amit said, even in dream you can be in that blissful self, and that body image in dream is separate from you, because it is so natural. It is truth that none of us, even for a fraction of a second, are the bodies which we are carrying, or the mind which is talking to us, or the feelings and emotions which we think are ours. When you detach, you will be ashamed to own any of these things. Not that you are feeling that you are trapped, but you will be ashamed to call it yourself. Because it is so different. The two things, you will laugh on yourself. Why was I so confused while these things are so different? It will be exactly like, let's say, a person born, and you, as an experiment, people tell you that you are this laptop. Laptop is you. It is like your third arm and face, and everyone teaches him the same, and all the people in his house carries laptop. They saying, you are part of this laptop, don't leave it, otherwise you are dead. The laptop is you. And one day someone comes from some other family, says, no, you are not laptop. Look, I have no laptop, but I'm still alive. Leave this laptop away. And he closes the laptop, and the person thinks he dies. And then he closes, and the person is still alive. Without laptop, I'm aware. I'm still alive. It is exactly like that. No difference. But because of only rarity of finding someone who has known it, and then you believe on that person somehow by faith or grace or whatever you say, and then you practice the same path, and then you get free, then you know how good it would be. You would be the blessing for humanity if you can detach, so you can help others to detach. So there are more people who can help everyone to detach and be happy all the time, rather than in the ego mode. There is no harm in having a mind and a body. Like there's no harm in having a laptop, but thinking you are a laptop is a problem. Because whatever it plays, you think, oh, I am playing, it's my mind. It's not your mind. You are not mind. And also, if you rely on the laptop for all the information, then you think you are dependent on laptop, isn't it? But let's say I tell you that you are the source of mind. You are before mind. And that intuitive awareness has all the knowledge, which even mind doesn't have a clue. So don't be slave of the mind. But you say, look, I've never used my intuitive awareness in my life. I've always dependent on mind. How would I live? These all doubts are created only in your gadget called as mind. Like nowadays on phone, there is this female voice which says, "What can I do for you?" And sometimes it just comes on, I don't know what button you press, Siri on iPhones, and there's someone else on some other phone. It looks like one day people will be dependent on that voice, to do everything in their life. And then they don't know how to dial the phone and what to do, because that will be doing everything for you. This is the dependence, we get dependent on things, gadgets. Mind is nothing but a gadget. We are so dependent now, it is causing problem to us because we are so dependent. And now we have to know how to be free from something on which we are never actually even involved. We are not this, but we are so conditioned. To decondition, we have to do some detox. It is not different than, we say people are addicted. Whole world is addicted. We are addicted to this word. Some are addicted to drugs, some are addicted to something else. We are addicted to this word. And then someone comes like Bhagwan who tells us, look, you are not what you think. And then with his grace, with his power, with his teachings, which are not his teachings, it is eternal teaching. It starts from Adi Yogi Shiva. It starts from since this world is. I think we were all free at some stage, but then we got just messed up in this body mind. And now we have to follow some technique to be free. So in Advaita, they say that actually we are all free. But just saying that we are free doesn't make us free. We have to do something to be free, And just watching, just staying as awareness, giving no work to the mind. What is the work to the mind is our desires, which comes with the I thought. And that desire comes in the mind, and that mind asks the body to act for that desire to fulfill. And if it doesn't fulfill, you are bound by the fruits of those actions, and then the next action comes because of that, and then you are trapped. But let's say if you just sit, things will still happen, whether these are liked by the ego or not. You don't get involved in that and just watch it. So with the old habits, you will try to analyze every situation. Even the food, what you are eating, oh, it's not that good, and I like to have this, and I have been given this, and whatever. But if you listen to those thoughts with detached awareness, soon you will be disentangling yourself all the time. From morning till evening, we have so many things happening in our life. And even if you're not doing any action, thoughts don't stop. As soon as the thought arises, you can just throw it in the field of awareness and it dissolves. This is the fire. This is fire of knowledge, this awareness, what we are carrying. We are all carrying this fire. If you bring everything to this fire, it just disappears. And continue till this old habit is there to keep listening to these thoughts. And then no thought is left. And what is left is pure you, blessed you, pure awareness. You can listen to people, you can read books, we can do satsang, all this helps. But thing which works best is to not get involved in your mind and your thoughts. Don't believing on anything, what it brings to you. And soon you will find there is huge gap between you and this body-mind complex. This filtration, this all which was messed up will disentangle and you will be left with what you are. By simple observing, self-attention. Self-inquiry is useful for someone who is very much entangled in ahankar, ego. But more you get, more and more you are sorting it out. You just have to pay attention, that's all. You don't have to make any questions or inquiries. You can just be what you are once you have knack of it. It's like when you have that intense longing, the water or the river, when it flows, it finds its way. Somehow this you're trying to find your way back to the self is so beautiful. It can be in so many different ways for people. In your own way you will find it. Like the river, it finds its way up to the ocean.
Yesterday, I actually wrote one shlokam in Sanskrit, but I'll tell you the meaning. I don't remember the verse. Sat is existence, is Shiva. And Shakti comes out in the form of three ways. One is Jnana Shakti, that is intellect. Ichcha Shakti is the mind, and Kriya Shakti is the body. And she is always looking out. Suddenly she decides, why not I go inside the house? And she looks at Shiva. And because of Lajja, she looks down and she is one with him and she's no more looking outside. So the mind is looking outside. Once it turns back into the source, it just merges with that consciousness and it becomes still. So that's that little bit of stage everybody has to work out how they do it. So it's just like our Shakti looking back into Shiva and don't want to get separated. Just becomes one with that and just be.
Let's pray it happens for everyone, that Shakti finds its own Shiva in the heart and merges with it forever. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sanjay.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sanjay.
And thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
You thank
Mm.